The hunting horn is a groovier hammer that can distribute buffs to your party, including yourself. This tutorial is an in-depth guide to play the hunting horn. This guide is not extensive and there will be nuances missed, but the guide will be good enough to get you started playing the sweet, sweet death music. The hunting horn cues a combination of notes with its attacks, then plays those notes in the form of a recital to activate buffs. Playing an encore to the recital will enhance the buff and extend its duration and power. Notes are created using basic attacks. Hunting horn's basic attacks are very simple. The complexity of the weapon, however, comes from the long commitment of attacks and encores. To play a note, press the Y button for the crotchet, the white note, the B button for the quaver, the red note, or Y plus B for the double quaver, the yellow note. These notes will change colour depending on the weapon, but for this tutorial these colours will remain the same colour. The shape of the note, whether it's a crotchet or a quaver, will always correspond to the same button attack regardless of the weapon. String together 3 of these notes to create a song. The song is then stored in the top left corner of the UI, and you can cue up to 3 songs. Press the right trigger. The melody will begin to play the song. If you have cued more than one song, it will continue to automatically play through each song one after the other without additional button presses. To start the recital at a different point, you can press the right trigger plus one of the face buttons to start the cue at a different point. At any point during this time, pressing the Y plus B button will play an encore. Any previously played songs before Y plus B will turn purple, be buffed and extend its duration, as well as doing a follow-up attack. The song playlist can be extended and do more damage by pressing the right trigger in between each song. Do this at the correct time and the hunter will glow red and do increased damage. In the beta we only have one hunting horn to use, but each hunting horn will have different songs that grant different buffs. However, each horn has the song's self-improvement and echo bubble regardless of what horn Gemma forges for you. Self-improvement grants a movement speed buff to the hunter and will stop all attacks from bouncing. Attacking an armoured monster will always do damage and never be reflected, even if your sharpness value is low. The added move speed makes repositioning much easier, and hunters should aim to have this up for the entire hunt. Echo Bubble grants a small buff based on the horn. This one grants a larger evasion window when dodging, and even more movement speed. All echo bubbles reverberate and damage the monster in its vicinity every time a note is played. When playing echo bubble, you can press up to 3 buttons or notes to quickly stack them into your music stave in the top left. Pressing the right combo of 3 notes can quickly stack a song or multiple songs in the song queue. More on this later. This horn has attack up small, fire resistance small, sonic waves and echo wave blunt. Attack up increases your raw damage, fire resistance does exactly that, sonic waves send shockwaves underground to unearth burrowed enemies. This is especially useful against Balahara. And echo wave blunt sends out a shockwave that does blunt damage. Essentially, it does more stun damage to the monster so it can more easily be knocked out, creating a large damage window. Pressing the Y button while stationary does a side swing. Pressing B does the other side. These are your bread and butter moves for hitting the monster. Pressing forward and Y will do a moving slam attack, moving your hunter forward. Pressing forward and B will do a double swing. And pressing another button during the second swing will cue another note, and you can use this by pressing any face button. Pressing Y and B will do a backward slam. This move has a high hitbox and is very useful for hitting the head of a monster. Pressing forward and Y and B will do the slam, the highest damaging move for the hunting horn. It's especially useful for getting knockdowns. You can also do a follow-up attack after the slam by pressing Y and B. At any point after an attack, you can press any button and hold backwards on the left stick to do a hilt stab. Hilt stabs are a fast way to grab an extra note without doing a longer attack animation. When we start attacking the monster, the goal is to grab self-improvement, attack up, and place an echo bubble down, preferably 3. Queuing these moves to play all at once can be tricky, so a simple Y into hilt stab Y, then right trigger, the recital move, can grab us self-improvement in a matter of seconds and is short enough to pull off right away. Any larger windows of opportunity, we can also queue attack up and place an echo bubble. The best way to do this is by pressing the right trigger and A at the same time to initiate an echo bubble. Pressing Y, B, Y during the echo bubble will cue the attack up song. We can play the recital to give us the buff, and then the echo bubble will do a shockwave, and then we can even encore afterwards if there's time for more damage and to change the song to purple, increasing its duration. Once we have our buffs, our goal with this weapon is to continually cast Echo Wave Blunt as much as possible, to do as much stunning damage as we can. The more stun, the more knockdowns, and then the more opportunities for big damage. Playing all 3 songs in a queue, whilst playing performance beat in between every song, then rounding off with an encore will do massive damage. It's a very long combo that requires a lot of setup and is mostly used for when the monster is knocked down. I like to queue Echo Bubble on the ground for increased damage and ease of attaining the Echo Wave song. I do this 3 times and you've got 3 bubbles on the ground and 3 Echo Waves in the queue. Then we play through the combo, dealing massive damage, being careful to time the performance beats after each song for the red glowing effect doing extra increased damage. QTABS, also known as Quick Turnaround Backswing, is a strategy with the hunting horn whereby the hunter faces away from the monster and quickly presses the Y+B button to do the backswing. As this move does a lot of stun damage and can reach higher places, it can be very useful on large monsters where their heads are higher above than some others. QTABS will be especially effective on Rathian and Rathalos when they are flying close to the ground. Playing a recital can be played in 5 ways: standing still, holding back and pressing right trigger, holding forward and pressing right trigger, holding left, and holding right. The goal of the hunting horn is to use these to reposition and help aim your performance beats and encore attack during the recital. Playing yellow, red, yellow, then white will cue an offset melody. This is a song that can be played at any time and won't go straight into your music track. Playing the music track will skip the offset melody. To play it, press Y+B and right trigger at the same time. Do this when a monster is about to land a hit on you and the offset attack will go off. Focus Strike on the hunting horn can be used by holding left trigger to enter focus mode, then press right bumper to trigger the attack. If the attack lands on a wound, the hunter will be able to press up to 5 notes to quickly cue songs. Here's a hunt, showing all the moves of the hunting horn in Wilds.
Now, are you prepared? They've issued us supplies. Let's put them to use.